Hi folks, Lone Wolf here, and thanks for coming back to the channel. As you remember last week, the GS was in for its 12,000 mile service. So while it was there, the kind people at Roybrook's Wolverhampton loaned me a BMW R9T Scrambler for the day, the 2023 version. So I thought, while I've got it, I might as well do my first ride review on it. So if that's interest to you, stay tuned. Right folks, well, it's my first actual bike review, so it's a bit haphazard. So what I've done, I did a walk around first, and then when I went off and did a few miles on it. So I put it together like that. Generally I try to do it some other way, but I'd only got it for a day and I really wanted to put some miles on it and get a good feel of the bike. So stay tuned anyway. Well folks, took the beast into Roybrook to have the 12,000 mile service done, all the recalls and everything. So for a couple of days I've got this. So I thought I'd give you my first impressions of the R9T Scrambler. Looks a nice little bike, doesn't it? I must be honest, I've just rode it back to home, and it's really nice little piece of kit. Quite sharp steering, everything. So let's get through the spec, shall we? It's got LED lights and a daytime running light. You can see that. It's just got a speedo. It's got the speedo there, and there's a little trip computer on it. But other than that, nothing. It's got this one's got 3 riding modes. It's got road, rain and dirt. So obviously you can blast this one off dirt if you want. You know what I mean? It's the engines, the air-cooled boxer. 1170cc is the old one. It kicks out 109 brake horsepower at 7,250 revs. And 116 Nm of torque at 6,000 revs. As I say, I've only just put it back. I'm going to give it a bit of a run in a minute. My first impressions is it's really punchy. Curb weight's 223 kilos, fully weighed, fully fueled, as I say, and a seat height of 820. The only thing I notice with the seat height is the seat is rock hard, but the position that you sit in, when you come to put your feet down, the pegs are absolutely smack bang in the wrong place. For me they are. So they force your legs to be spread eagle more than you would. But other than that, rider position is lovely. It's got dry clutch and a 6-speed gearbox, and the frame's actually in 3 sections, up front and 2 rear, and the middle and the rear end, and the engine is load bearing. Engine and gearbox is a load bearing. Lovely pipes on the back, look. Looks really nice, I think. The setup of it and the way it looks, it's really nice. Front forks, they got 43mm with 125mm of travel. Telescopic, no adjustment, which is fair enough. And on the back, you've got the power lever, single rear shock, 140mm of travel, and it is adjustable. There is a preload on it somewhere, probably the other side, at the back there, the screw underneath. I know you can probably see it, the wheel there, and you can set the preload on it. It's got a rear wheel is a 17-inch, and it's a 170 by 60 R17 tyre. That's a decent footprint of a tyre there. The front is 19-inch. with a 120 by 17 and R9T. Again, decent sized tyre on it. As you can see the engine there, the way it's loaded up, it's got the two pipes come through the back and then out into that one there. Front brakes, we've got twin discs. These are Brembos, twin disc Brembos, 320mm discs, 4-piston. The rear has got a single disc, BMW mark, but it's probably some sort of Brembo, and that is a 265mm disc with a double floating piston caliper. Shaft drive, of course. But all round a nice, neat, tidy bike. I think it looks really tasty, to be honest. 17 litre tank. And a 3.5 litre reserve, so there's a fair bit to get you around. And the bars, they're 65mm wide, so they're too wide, but they're just enough to be comfortable. As I say, I've only just been on it for like 15 minutes or so, bringing it back, so this is my really first review of it. I'm going to get my helmet, get my gear, jump on it and have a little put around on it, do a few miles and let you know. So then folks, we're off. The first thing you notice when you start it is the big kick off the engine when you fire it up, because it's slowed down and because it's lightweight. You don't feel it so much on the GS, but you do on this. But that's the first thing. The engine is super smooth, really is. Seat, well, that seems a touch hard, but that may be just me. Riding position, really comfortable. Knees are up, my knees are up past 90 degrees. But other than that, they're fine. I say it's super smooth. No quick shifter or any of that trickery. So it's clutch and change down the old-fashioned way. This particular bike's got 3 modes on it, as I said, rain, road and dirt. I won't be taking it on any dirt, I can assure you of that. Just going to have a little run round some of the roads where I ride normally, so it'll give me a good comparison to what I normally ride. I'm slightly tilted forward, but not as much as you notice. No weight on my wrists. As such, there's no weight as such on my wrists. Meaty grips. This one's got cruise control. So quite a few cruise comforts really for what you would class as a bog basic bike. Although in saying that, I think the price is around, I think it's about 12,700. They may start at that. I will check if it's any different. I'll put it up on the screen. but I feel this one may have slight additions to it in the three riding modes. I think it only comes with 2 riding modes, and the dirt one is an additional mode. Although in saying that, with the tyres that are on it, on this particular one, they're road focused tyres, so I don't think it'd be too wise to nip out on the dirt on this. It's very light. You really can feel how light the bike is, and steers really quickly. No input at all, and it steers. Just mind that huge pothole there. It's got a fair bit of punch in it, I must be honest. You know, you twist that throttle and up off it's gone. This actual road I'm on now is really badly surfaced, so it's bouncing around a bit, but nothing untoward. I mean, anything down this road will bounce around. But it's really light and nimble. Still a bit naff, the roads, to be fair. They're a bit, in places I would imagine they're a bit flighty. So we won't be pushing it to any extremes. Just be a bit of a poodle around to get the feel of it. Well, I really must be honest, it's surprised me how nippy it is. But as you can imagine, there's absolute massive torque on the engine. It looks nice, the weather today, but I must be honest, it's a bit porky. And again, it is the 7th of February. As I said, I think in previous videos I've done, we have had snow this time of the year. Right, it punches straight up to speed limits, no problem at all. I mean, what's that? Running now 55, 60, absolutely effortless. So you'd have no problem overtaking anything or when you're riding it. Got plenty of poke. And the typical boxer engine when you shut it off. The engine braking. Wind blast, well, it's a naked, so you do get a certain amount of wind blast, but I'm getting no buffeting whatsoever. I must be honest, it's quite surprised me. Get no buffeting whatsoever. The main picking and bouncing is off the seat. Suspension, I think, at the back is a bit hard for me. I'd soften it off a bit, but to be fair, I've only got it for a couple of days and I won't be doing hundreds of miles on it. So we'll leave it as it is. As I say, it's got plenty of beans in it. I mean, what's that? 65, not a touch, not a problem at all. All's along smashing. This is a road that I ride a lot. It's my main road out into the countryside, and there's some good bends on here. And although the weather's a bit nah, you can just feel it holds a really good line. As I say, turns really nice. Hardly any input whatsoever, and it's round. You can basically, I reckon you could turn this by just no hand. You might push pressure your feet on the footrest. I've only ever had really a couple of naked bikes, and perhaps it's creature comforts and old age, but I must admit this one's quite surprised me, how little wind blast there is on it. It's got this tiny little number plate stroke wind deflector on the front, and it obviously does quite a good job. Definitely got some punch for a little boy. I've just run up like that. 90 speeds. Bit of wind blast now, but to be fair, they're cracking on a bit. Anyway, I'll pop and get some cow juice, and then we'll take it a bit further. Back brake's nice. I'm a back brake type person, I am. I always use the back brake a lot, and that felt lovely. Front brake's really short, really short. Well, not sharp, but it's progressive. It's on, you know you've got it. But I say I'm a bit of a back brake specialist, and rightly or wrongly, I use it an awful lot. Especially for, you know, when you hit the bends, settling the bike down before you hit the bend. Mirrors are good. Can just see my right elbow a little bit, my left elbow. As I say, it has the engine braking, very similar to the GS. It's obviously the old GS engine. Tried and tested. Refined somewhat, I believe. For all in all, a nice little package. You'll have a little pop down here, and hopefully might find a breakfast stop, have a cup of tea, as I always do. But it's a looker, the bike's a looker. Oh, the idiot there, they're not trying to do on double white lines, look. Always one.
to look at. The way it looks, I think it's really impressive. The two pipes up the side. Come back to the olden days, Scrambler. My era. And I was a two-stroke man myself. This is a very similar setup to the old PSA 440 Victor. CCM type bike, but 440 Victor was very similar to this in looks. The rider aids, I think it's just got ABS Pro, traction control obviously. I'm not sure, I'd have to check up. I don't think there's any 6-way IMU or anything like that. It's quite basic. But that's all you need, ABS, for the traction control. Everything else is obviously a bit of icing on the cake. But of course these days, that's what you're used to. But this is, after all, a retro style bike, so it should use the retro. Feel. I reckon in the summer, warm roads, warm tyres, you could give this a right. Blistering round the bends. It's got plenty of punch. Plenty of punch. Well, I have to say, my first impressions of this R9T Scrambler are very good. I'm totally surprised by it. I've not ridden a retro, and this one is excellent, I must admit. I really enjoy riding it. It's got bags of poke, and it's not heavy on your wrist or anything like that. The wind blast with this little thing on the front is minimal. Steers smashing. Handles pretty well, as I say, you know, in the summer, or even now, you know, out in the country lanes, no problem whatsoever. Joy to ride. Would I tour on it? Me personally, no. I don't think that's what it's built for. I think it's built for enjoying yourself and enjoying yourself on a weekend. And for that, it is absolutely excellent. Great fun. But would you tour on it? No. Well, I wouldn't anyway. I'm used to the creature comforts. But as I say, you could, because it's got heated grips. The heated grips, but all, you know, comfortable, cruise control. I think the wind blast would probably get you after a while. And maybe the seat, because this seat's quite hard. But for what it's made for and what it's built for, it is absolutely top notch. I'm absolutely blown away with it, to be honest. I can't compare it to another Scrambler because I haven't ridden one. But I'd say, whatever it was, you have to be good to beat this. I'm going to see if we can get a sandwich here. Oh, Scrambler, we've got it off-road, look. But it's a nice little bike. It's a really nice place to be. I can actually see now the attraction. If you would just want to pop out on the weekend, do a few miles, have a coffee, come back, ideal. How cost effective it would be at 12,700 quid, I don't know. There may be stuff that's equally as good, but from my point of view, you've got a tried and trusted unit there. All the cycle parts, engine parts are all tried and tested. So it's robust, reliable and easy to maintain. I would imagine it's pretty easy to clean as well, to be honest. Doesn't look as bad as one with GS. So I'm going to conclude the review by saying it's a really, really nice bike. If it's a retro that you're after, I think this is one you ought to look at. So from me, the Lone Wolf, I'm going to say goodbye. Don't forget, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hopefully there'll be a few more reviews coming shortly. Trips, ride outs. You may have noticed I always seem to end up somewhere to eat. So subscribe, give us a tick, give us a like. But remember, be careful out there. This is Lone Wolf saying bye for now.